Viewer discretion is advised. In the following video, you're going to hear a story that is gross, one of the most disgusting, sadistic, inhumane acts that any human could do to another. So, of course, we're talking about white Christian Republicans. What's up, YouTube? Drill Star here. And I don't have to say much about the video. I'll let it speak for itself. Sometimes you gotta let the video speak for itself. It's from those wonderful ladies at iHip. Before I get it started, I want you to know tomorrow I'll be having a discussion with Biker Lexi about Christian nationalism, about religion and politics, because I think it's an important topic. Not sure when it will come out, but I want you to be looking out for it because maybe you might want to hear it. So without further ado, watch this.
Next up, we have more just horrific stories as to what's happening in the United States. And this is what they try to detract you from all the time. Jean Favreau is reporting on a story that broke. And he says, is this what you wanted, Stephen Miller? A mother who was 5 months pregnant, who just found out she and her American citizen fiance were having a boy, lost her baby after federal agents in a detention center repeatedly denied her pleas for prenatal care, lived and worked in Tennessee for years, detained by ICE for over a month, forced to sleep on prison cell floor, served food with cockroaches, said she was starving and having stomach pains. Guards told her it was normal, begged to be deported so at least she could get prenatal care in Guatemala. ICE refused. She delivered her stillborn baby in front of 2 guards who shackled her feet. Then for 2 days, she wasn't allowed to call her fiance or talk to anyone. She cried alone and was deported to Guatemala shortly after the stillbirth. And the fact that the majority of the people that I know that support all of this also are deeply evangelical people is just such breathtaking hypocrisy. It disgusts me. It disgusts me to my core. It's so disturbing. I think that's one of the harder things about living in America right now. I get that Trump is evil and a bad actor, and I get that he surrounded himself. The support, the numbers of support is the part that's so disheartening for me, that so many people see that and they get excited. They get excited seeing a person crying and screaming, what about my child, and getting arrested and hauled off, that it gives them some personal satisfaction.
Funny enough, that story reminds me of this one. I put it out last year, talking about Project 2025 before the election. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at some of those words and see if we can reasonably find any concerns. Reproductive health, regulation, and any piece of legislation that exists. So, this is what it looks like when you delete the terms reproductive health, reproductive rights, and regulations in any piece of legislation that exists. And that language goes way past abortion laws and trans people on your swimming team. This is what it looks like.
They were gruesome, painful treatments. Beastly. The intense pain erased all feeling.
My name is Professor Karl Klauberg. I performed forced sterilizations. From March 1943 to January 1945, I subjected 280 women to trials. 150 were sterilized according to my method.
You seeing what I'm seeing? You ready to fight back against this regime? Against authoritarianism? Against fascism? Maybe now you see why Drill Sergeant Spec Ops team risks so much to fight back against this regime. But maybe you'd like to help too. Maybe it's important to you. It's not easy, it's hard. And you'll get vetted thoroughly. It's not fun, but maybe you see why we're willing to risk so much to fight back against this regime. Authoritarianism, What are you going to do?
Danger. I'm not asking them to stop. I'm demanding that they stop. Here's what I have to say to Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, and anyone else stirring up the outrage about what ICE does. These are real people with real families you're hurting with your ridiculous rhetoric and inflammatory comments. And it's time to remember that.
You know, Todd Lyons, the real people with real families are the people who are going to Home Depot to get supplies for a day job that they're working on that Americans won't do. And you have these ICE agents that wear masks on. If they're so proud of the work they're doing, why don't they show their faces? Cops in the streets, they show their faces. Sheriff's Department, they show their faces. Why are your agents not in uniforms covering their faces when they go and rip families apart, not knowing if anybody has committed a crime or not? This is so breathtakingly immoral. And the fact that the majority of the people that I know that support all of this also are deeply evangelical people is just such breathtaking hypocrisy. It disgusts me. It disgusts me to my core.
Hey, yeah, you. Before you click away to watch someone unbox a tactical toothbrush, let's talk about something real. Political Drain isn't just another content mill. We're a digital front in a very real war. Not with bullets, but with ideas, with action, and with solidarity. We pair urgent news with critical education. And we build community around actual resistance, not the hashtag kind. The kind that moves. But here's the thing. None of this is free. It isn't. Behind every video is time, labor, research, and some weird guy asking if we're gonna pay the hosting bill. And yeah, some of that money goes to things we can't necessarily say out loud. If you know, you know. Let's just say our special ops aren't Call of Duty LARPers. They're people making real moves to protect, uplift, and organize. You're not just funding a channel. You're funding a resistance network in a world where capital still calls the shots. Unfortunately, in a system built on artificial scarcity, even mutual aid has a price tag. And if we want to grow, if we want to win, we need your help. We need your help. So if you've got even a few bucks to spare, toss it our way. It's not for ads, it's not for merch drops, but for people making moves in the shadows so others can do it in the light. It's just us and you. So fund the mission, fund the fight, fund the future, because nobody's coming to save us. We save each other. That's how this works. Follow us on all these things you see here, and our link tree is in the description. Maybe even get some merch.